Okay, hey everybody, Joe Haygood here, aka mclazyj. We're back, and we're gonna try to do a second attempt at our packing video. We did not have a good time with it yesterday, if only because I couldn't transfer the video off this camera, and I don't know why. So I went ahead and reformatted the card. Hopefully that'll make a trick. So here I have a 30. I think it's a 31 inch, might be a 32 inch. This is a London Fog. We picked it up at Marshall's. It did get ripped at one point during our travels. At some point, I'm going to probably just put some super glue in here and glue this down. We don't use this outside pocket, though. This happened when we went on our Virgin cruise. I had my wife's jacket inside this pocket. Last bit of room I had. Got all the way through the flight to Miami. No issues. We got to the cruise. It went on the cruise ship. By the time it got to our cabin, busted. So, anyways, packing video. So, the goal of this is we have this luggage, and you can see I already have my Hokas in here, which I'm going to take out for a second. The goal of this is to try to get all of our clothing into one suitcase. So we can have one suitcase free. Plus our two carry-ons, which will be mostly empty. So we have tons of room for souvenirs. So we have some packing cubes. Inside here, in this one, I think I have my wife's bras and all of her shirts, which we just rolled up basically to fit them into these packing cubes. I knew nothing about packing cubes until I was going on a cruise, and I saw them in videos. And I realized they are a lifesaver. They do help you pack more efficiently, I think. So, all that being said, we've got our packing cube here. Trying to see how I want to organize this. No, I'm going to put this one this way. Just like I had it. Like that. So, I'm going to put this one up here, kind of layered. And then put this one kind of on top of it. You know? Now, as you can see, we have plenty of room so far for other items in this suitcase. So we have another, matter of fact, you could even do like this. Might work better. Just to protect the top half of that. Because we're going to actually have our whatchamacallit kit. Oh my gosh. Drawing a blank big time, guys. Basically, it's our, it's all of our toiletries. That's what I was looking for. Toiletry kit. Wow. And the idea is with the toiletry kit, we'll have that in there as well. So you can see we still have room to put a few more things in here. But basically, every bit of clothing that we need to bring is in here. The only thing that is not in there... Oh, my wife wants to bring her second purse, so we can put that right there. Is a handful of clothes. We have 2 or 3, sets of clothing that we keep in our check bag just in case this gets lost. Now, I have another 26-inch piece of luggage that right now is completely empty. It's getting checked completely empty. Because the goal is to put all of our souvenirs in there and into our carry-ons when necessary. So, anyways. I know there wasn't too much to that from a packing standpoint. But the idea is our toiletry case will go here. And we'll still have some gaps in here to put like a second set of shoes for my wife. Because we both want to bring 2 sets of shoes. I actually will have a set of shoes in my carry-on because I'm going to wear my flip-flops to the actual airport. And the reason being is I don't want to carry all that I want to be very comfortable. So I'm going to have compression socks with some flip-flops, the sweats that I'm wearing right now. I'm going to be washing those so they're nice and clean. Just a t-shirt and my sweatshirt. we're going to wear that on. So the idea is to go on very comfortable. So I'll have a set of jeans and a change of clothes. When I get down to the Japan side, I can get dressed into some nicer clothes and look a little more presentable when you go to immigration and customs. I don't want to go through in sweats and all that stuff. Plus, I don't want to have flip-flops on. At some point, I want to be able to ride. We're taking the airport limousine bus from the airport to our hotel. So, all that being said, this was an easy one. I will bring the carry-on up here in a second, and we'll look at that. But I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. We'll have the rest of the toiletry stuff packed tonight, so we can actually have that ready to go. So this may get moved up to here, but I kind of wanted to have the toiletry in between stuff. The idea is that if we have this here, the toiletry stuff is kind of buffered with padding on each side. And then, like I said, I can put my wife's second set of shoes over here. And then that kind of fills this luggage. But that means everything can come back in here. And then when we come back, we can actually split the clothing, put some layers down, right? And then that way, if we have anything that might be breakable, we can have it padded with some clothing on the bottom, clothing on top of it. And collectibles and things can be in the middle. Kind of prevent them from getting damaged. I don't suspect we'll buy a ton, but I do have a feeling there'll be some... we are going to do some figurine purchases. So... And some of that... And sorry, I'm like rubbing up on my mic here. That was great. Some of that may be... You know, I just realized, I think... No, sorry. I'll edit that. We're not going to buy a ton of statues or figurines per se. I'm sure there will probably be a few. Like, I want to get a Kiryu Kazuma one. So stuff like that we'll try to put in here. Also, the problem with that, some of that is we have to keep it bagged if you get it out of tax-free. So we'll have to figure all that out. And there's a chance that all of our clothes get distributed among the other stuff, and then the collectibles end up in this thing. So... we'll see how it all goes. But, yeah. The goal is to live the dream with this one. So, let me go ahead and close this one up for now. Like I said, there'll be a couple more things that go in here. But as you can see, this is where most of our stuff's going to end up at. And once we do that, you know, once I get the toiletries and stuff in here, I can seal this one up and call it a day. But let's get one of the carry-ons up here. So I'll be right back with that. Ooh. All right, everybody, we're back. You can see here, carry-on, very simple. I believe it's a 22-inch carry-on. This is a Samsonite, and it is a one side, so it's deep. The one that my wife has carry-on, it's similar, except hers is a split open, a split half. But I'm just going to show you. So primarily, this is all I have for my carry-on right now. Beyond, I'm going to have a 311, but this just has some underwear. It has my heat tech in it. Shirt. I have a t-shirt in here to wear when I, it's just basically a couple pairs of underwear, a couple pairs of socks. The idea that if for some reason luggage gets lost, I have a few things that are here and I have available. Now I'm going to be putting some of my toiletries that I'm going to bring on with me, like my 311. I might put it in here as well. But as you can see, I have a ton of room in this bag for other things. So, and on my wife's, her carry-on, or hers, I used a little bigger packing cube. It'll be like a little bigger than mine. Again, hers got a couple shirts, underwear, a pair of jeans, and a pair of Halaras in there that she can wear just in case. Her packing cube's a little larger. I could shrink it down, but this will probably fit on one side, half of one side. And then her toiletries can go right above it as well that she's going to bring with her, because she's got to bring her GLP-1 medicine in a container. But the idea is, again, to have as much area as we can. Some people look at it and say, like, God, you're bringing so much luggage. But the plan is we're probably going to bring a lot of souvenirs back, and we need to have room for them. So, the idea is to try to have as much square space as we can. I do have these rain ponchos that I bought when we went cruising. I am going to bring them just in case we run into rain that we're not prepared for. We did find out today that we've got snow coming on the 7th, which is the day we're supposed to be in Akihabara. It's going to be interesting because they're saying there's a couple inches of snow that will be there. And it is going to get cold, both that day and the 8th. The 8th at night is going to be the coldest night. It's going to be about 20 to 22 degrees Fahrenheit. But the real feel is going to be about anywhere between 11 to 16 degrees. So it's going to be very cold. The heat tech is going to come into play. Both the tights that I have and the shirt. So we will be layering big time. Big time layers. So, all that being said, the packing idea is to have a ton of room for our souvenirs. Am I going with overkill? Probably. Am I concerned with that? No. Japan is one of those once-in-a-lifetime trips. So, when you're planning it, overkill is fine. I'd rather have empty space when we come back versus $100 for having to pay for an extra bag. So the idea here is we've got plenty of room for extras and souvenirs. So that'll leave us with that. I have to put my medical supplies, but they all go in this outside pocket here. Essentially, I'll have my bags, and I'll have all my bags. I'll have all my paste and everything, because I'm going to get pat down at LAX. One of the things that always happens to me is having an ostomy bag. Because I have to have the cryo paste in here, I have to do a bomb test with it, and then I have to feel my bag, and they do a test, and then they give me a feel over in the crotch to verify there's nothing else there. It's fun. It happens to me almost every time. If you have to do the chromatograph scanners. If you just do the walkthroughs with TSA, the old school metals, then it doesn't set anything off and I'm fine. But if I have to do the hands over head ones, the micro, whatever they are, scanners, it always gets set off. It does look like we're going to Tom Bradley. Right now we have a 202 gate, which means we have to go under the runway and across. That's not great. Although I will say that we looked at the flight that was going to be going out tomorrow, which is the day before ours. It originally had a 202 gate as well, and now it's assigned to like 158. So could be just a temporary gate and then it's going to change. I hope that's the case. I really don't want to be on that side because it's like a 10-minute walk to go across there from the main terminal. So if you want to get some food from the main terminal and then go to your gate, you know, it's like a 10-minute walk. Now, I guess you could say, hey, you could just hang out on this side and then as you get closer to your final flight, you know, your check-in time or your boarding time, start heading over to the other terminal, right? Or the other side, the 200 terminal, as I call it. So that's always a possibility too. But, you know, we're going to be running light. I'm sure we're not the first persons to do this. I was telling my wife, man, it's going to be weird when we check in an empty bag. Are they going to look at us like we're weirdos? I'm betting they've had many, many people do that for Japan. Just show up with empty freaking suitcases because they're going to load up on stuff, you know. When you think about it, I've got snacks that there's to buy, figurines that we're going to buy, clothing we're probably going to buy, tchotchkes and acrylic stands and all kinds of dumb stuff, probably some manga books. I have some people at work that want me to pick up some manga books. I got people at work that want, you know, stuff from Muji, like pens and stuff like that. It's all stuff that has to fit in here. So I want to have plenty of room to buy all of our dumb stuff, right? So all that being said, thanks everybody for watching. We will have a video that we will post. I don't know if we'll do them when we take off from here because I actually have to go by work and we have to go by the bank. We got to let them know that, hey, we might be using our Chase card, you know, while we're, you know, overseas, maybe to get money out if we need to. We've got yen in here. I need to remember we need to pack the yen, passports, all that good stuff. But the idea is that we want to, we have to go by my work. I have to do a few more things paperwork-wise before I'm free and clear for work. So I'll probably be there from like around 11 to 12 and then leave there around 2:30. And then we're going to head to the hotel. So all that being said, we got to get an Uber. I probably won't film anything until we get to the hotel. Maybe we'll do like a little bumper here where we're like, hey, we're on our way, blah, blah, blah. But in all reality, I might start the filming when we get to the actual hotel. We are staying at a hotel down by LAX the night before our flight, so we're not having to drive from Riverside. We're staying at the H Hotel, which is a Curio Collection hotel by, I think, Hilton. The key thing, and you'll see it when we do our film tomorrow. Number one, nice rooms. We do have a Deluxe King, got a deal on it, got a bunch of miles out of it too. Was able to pay for it with miles. So our tickets are being paid with miles. The hotel room's being paid with miles. Our hotel in Tokyo is not being paid with miles. That one's definitely coming out of pocket. But we're getting a good deal for the time of year to stay at the Hotel Gracery, Shinjuku. So, but there's an observation deck. So when we're there, we will show you. I might film that one with the iPhone just for the low light, or I might use my wife's camera and we'll use her stuff to film that one. The point being is, it's kind of a cool hotel, and hopefully we get a room in the right area. We get a great view of the flight line, but if not, we can always go up to the observation deck, and there are some great flight line videos that you can get from up there and some sights. So we'll try to run up there really quick before it gets dark and get some film, but the idea is you can get some great shots of planes coming in, coming out. Our plane does take off at 10:15 a.m., so we will probably be at the airport bright and early, around 7-ish. Just because they always tell you international flights get there early. Yes, we have TSA pre-check. And knowing my luck, yes, we will probably get through very quickly and we will have a whole lot of time to kill at the airport. But knowing the struggles I have with TSA, and I believe we have to check in at Terminal 4 first before we can go to the Tom Bradley terminal and drop in, check our bags over there. So there's kind of like a, hey, we got to get dropped off here, and then we got to walk over here and go through TSA there. It's just a whole thing, right? So we'll get it squared away, though. We'll figure it all out. We'll get through it. We'll explain it, and we'll film as much of it as we can. So, and then we'll give you some in-flight videos as well. you know, just kind of going through that. The idea for us, though, is we want to get some sleep. And, yeah. So, till next time, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you. I'll try to get this edited and posted tonight. But yeah, we'll see you then.